Is this rape?
Save all the communications you have had with her up to this point and then never speak to her again. You didn't rape anyone. Continuing to associate with this toxic person is putting your life and freedom at risk. Op. I'm a rape and SAW victim. I say this in hopes that my response hits a little harder. You're not a rapist, you are a guy who liked a girl. Expressly agreed to have sex at an earlier point with said girl, and then when it happened, she decided she changed her mind afterwards. She's allowed to have changed her mind afterwards. But that's not on you. If you were a rapist you wouldn't be so concerned. You're fine. But I'd cut contact. Time to bounce. That's a pretty heavy allegation coming from her, and to me she sounds like way too high of a risk to be with. Using logic, it would mean you mutually raped each other, because if you're both drunk then neither is able to consent properly. I'm a woman. This is so unfair of her. Rape is too big of a thing to abuse. These situations scare me. I hope she's going to leave you alone.
Regret does not equal rape.
All I can say is I'm super glad I don't have to date in the modern world. That poster who just asked if it's cool to have sex with a drunk person if they started should read this. Honey, that is not rape. I'm going to say this again. That was not rape. That's remorse, and her remorse is her issue. She needs to talk to someone, a counselor or a therapist, and work through that. You did nothing wrong. The two of you were sober when you made the plan. She consented, and she never took away that consent. You were both drinking. Yes. Which is never a great idea. But she was sober enough to have further conversation about it prior to engaging. You did everything you should have, and it's beyond unfair for her to attempt to label her remorse as rape. I'm sorry she did that. For reference, I am a survivor of rape. I've worked with many women in DV situations who have been raped. I unfortunately am all too familiar with the subject. Please believe me when I tell you, this was not rape. As you had agreed days before when she was sober and she never indicated a change of mind, I'd say you're safe. She's free to regret it. And she's also free to feel that you took advantage of the situation. However, I don't think you actually took advantage unless you knew she was likely going to change her mind. And now couldn't due to the drink. Also, I understand that she wasn't passed out drunk. If she was, then it was also wrong. Obviously, in the future, I can really recommend just not having sex with someone who is intoxicated, as it can be hard to determine exactly how far gone someone really is. Especially if you're not in a long-term relationship where you already know each other well and have established trust. You should calm down completely. You are not a rapist. As far as you understood, it was completely consensual. If you were to question, is she unable to give consent right now? And then went ahead anyways, then yes, that's rape. This isn't something you did wrong or have to feel bad about. I know you feel bad being labeled one, but your intent was to have sex, not rape. And she seemed able. As far as planning sex, consent is fluid. It's not something someone can say and then the other says, no backsies. Quote, in the future, have sex with sober people. If you have sex drunk, make sure you're comfortable with that person so they don't claim false allegations and make you feel this way. If you've got text messages or anything else that indicates she was looking forward to it, I'd save them, screenshot them, etc. to make sure they're securely kept, just to be on the safe side. If she was enjoying it in the moment and you were as well, and you were both drunk, no one got raped. If she asked you to stop and you did not, then yes, she got raped. If she never asked you to stop or gave any indication of wanting to stop, then I feel like you two both consented enough. especially if it was discussed days beforehand. I don't think you are a rapist. You agreed beforehand. When she was fully capable of consent and during intercourse you were both drunk and you didn't see any indication of her trying to take away her consent. So I don't think you violated any consent. However, if she was really drunk and was unable to take back her consent during the act, it makes sense that she feels as if boundaries have been crossed if she regretted having sex with you during the act or shortly before. However, she did not have the tools to indicate that in the situation, which means you could not know if she was feeling like stopping. I would say that this situation is a misunderstanding that may have left her feeling like she was in a situation where she could not communicate boundaries. But I don't think you are a rapist, as you didn't take away her ability to communicate intentionally. You were drunk too, and the previous consent made you understand the situation differently than what she may have experienced.
Regret does not equal SA.
It's not rape, and you didn't do anything wrong per se. But anytime you have sex with someone under the influence, you're taking a serious risk. Wouldn't recommend it for the first time you have sex with someone going forward as a general standard. And to not deal with this girl any longer. If things move forward in a criminal direction, such as her pressing charges, don't ignore the investigation. Find a lawyer. Whatever you do, do not speak to investigators. Lawyer up and let them guide you through the defense process. Regret isn't rape. I am a rape survivor. You are not a rapist. We do live in a challenging and backwards world right now though, and her opinions are concerning. Definitely cut her loose. But you should expect backlash. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but do everything to protect yourself. Emails, texts, recorded conversations. I know it's a stretch. Anything you have, screenshot it all. No, you're not a rapist. She is a horrible person that puts a bad name on people who actually were sexually assaulted. Save all written communication you two have had, in screenshot and printed form, and cut all contact with her. Some innocent man in her future is going to be charged because of her lies. Don't let it be you. I read your comments, bro. You don't worry about the moral part. You knew she was conscious and she was it enough to remember clearly what happened. That doesn't happen often with a very, very drunk person. That said, she still can file a report against you for raping if she for some reason doesn't feel comfortable, or is a completely bad person and tries to take advantage of benefits for rape victims. You said you don't worry for police, but a sex offender status isn't good in background checks, so better get lawyer up if needed, although don't mention about this part to her. Just a normal hookup conversation next time. For your important part, you did nothing wrong, but try to not do it with a drunk person again. You're not wrong. She has shown her true colors. She crazy. End it. Block her. Move on. Don't look back.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.